With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. So as the DCEU continues to chug along, as we just talked about, with the whole Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker in an origin movie no one asked for, we now get more going on about Shazam, a movie that is currently in production, filming right now, and Warner Bros. Is excited to release it in 2019. And what we have here is the plot synopsis for the film. Now, it says that production has finally started on the Warner Bros. And DCEU film Shazam, and they have finally released a plot synopsis and a cast listing for the upcoming movie. Now, I don't know a lot about Shazam. I honestly don't. I mean, if you look at like DC as a whole, like their Holy Trinity, Justice League characters, some ancillary characters, I know that, but Shazam has never been one I've really kind of paid attention to. So I am curious to see what Zackary Levi is going to do in the role. So it says here, the character known as Shazam has gone through many names. Most notably was his tenure as Captain Marvel, the name that was eventually in conflict with Marvel Comics because of their Captain Marvel character, and he became Shazam. The young man named Billy Batson, who can shout the name and become a superhero with powers of the god of Hercules, Zeus, Mercury, along with historical legendary figures like Achilles, Atlas, and Solomon. Their first initials actually formed the name Shazam as an anagram. That I didn't know. That's actually pretty cool. The DCEU has been plagued with issues, and everyone keeps pinning their hopes on that next film will be the one to correct their course and start down a better path. Yeah, I still feel that if we would have gotten the Zack Snyder cut, we would have been on that better path. But it's said that the DC universe has been taking itself a little bit too seriously and could use a lighthearted movie in their arsenal. Producers and star of the upcoming Shazam have all stated that this movie plans on bringing more of a sense of fun. There has been very little news of the film other than a few casting announcements here and there, but now Warner's has actually updated the plot synopsis, saying, "We all have a superhero inside of us. It just takes a bit of magic to bring it out. In Billy Batson's case, by shouting out one word, Shazam, this streetwise 14-year-old foster kid can turn into the adult superhero Shazam, courtesy of an ancient wizard. Still a kid at heart inside a ripped godlike body." Okay, that's a little thing to say. Shazam revels in this adult version of himself by doing what any teen would do with superpowers. Have fun with them. Can he fly? Does he have X-ray vision? Can he shoot lightning out of his hands? Can he skip his social studies test? Shazam sets out to test the limits of his abilities with the joyful recklessness of a child, but he'll need to master these powers quickly in order to fight the deadly forces of the evil controlled by Dr. Thaddeus Sivana. And this is okay. So okay. So this is like a young adult novel version of superhero movies is essentially what it boils down to. This is like the boy who got powers sort of thing. Not bad. It's like Big, but with superpowers, right? Is that kind of, I think, the best way to describe it? Now, it's being directed by David F. Sandberg. Billy Batson will be played by the actor Asher Angel. After his transformation, the role of Shazam will be played by Zackary Levi, and Mark Strong has been cast as a villainous Dr. Thaddeus Sivana. That's pretty funny because Mark Strong is going back into the DC movies after playing Sinestro in Green Lantern, a role that I thought he did very good at. And so you can see here that they are currently shooting the movie under the code name Franklin, and that's the thing. So that is the plot synopsis for the Shazam film. Like I said, it kind of feels like you know, I understand that the DC world has taken itself a bit too seriously and they want to do something a bit lighter fare. Same thing we got kind of with Thor Ragnarok, right? They took themselves very seriously with the first two movies, and the third one kind of went balls to the wall with comedy, and it worked out well in terms of box office response. Narratively, it was kind of weird, but it did well box office response wise. Here, they're trying, I think, to capture, if you want my honest opinion, like I said before, Big. I think they're trying to really go after the idea of Big, and they want to play that up, and that's going to be interesting because if it was, I mean, if you want to do like the way for this to work, if they're meant to be like kind of a fun thing, a mischievous 14-year-old, what would a mischievous 14-year-old do if all of a sudden you just yelled at the name Shazam and you had all these powers? I mean, you know, you might be X-raying the girls' locker room. You might be, you know, doing something where you're a little bit mischievous, or you might take some shit, right? Like, you have all these powers. So there's got to be, I think, to really kind of make it land in today's world, they've got to really kind of bring about not necessarily 100% adult humor, but have enough adult humor in there to appeal to the adults that are going to want to take their kids to see this movie, because he does seem like, oh yeah, if I was 14 and had those powers, I would do the exact same thing. And I think if they craft that well enough and they put that out there, it's you're gonna do well with that. And also Zackary Levi is a good choice. When he was on Chuck, you know, I think that kind of very much embodied that same kind of mindset. And putting him up against Mark Strong, who is a very gifted, very talented actor and an awesome villain, is also a pretty choice. However, I feel bad that he's going to be, you know, the bad guy in this movie. I would love for him to come back in the Lantern Corps as Sinestro. I know it's never going to happen, but it'd be cool if it did, man. It'd be cool if it did. So this one definitely comes out next year. I'm waiting for a teaser trailer or something, which we probably won't get. If they're shooting it right now, come Comic-Con, we'll get a teaser trailer. Give us a better idea of what to expect from the movie and whether or not it can actually live up to anything inside of the DCEU. Because, you know, this could be such a far departure that diehard fans are simply not going to get in line. And if that is the case, that is going to be a huge fight that I'm not looking forward to, but at the same time, it feels inevitable at this point too. But that being said, I like the concept. I don't know much about the character, so I'm excited to learn more about it. And I definitely want to check out the movie because it does seem like an updated version of Big.